Jin! What are you doing?
Clearing the way.
Not like that. Never like that. Face them as a warrior with honor, not a monster.
So they understand.
Terror is not the weapon of a samurai.
The last few months have been a whirlwind of bad press for Sony, which feels weird to say. The PS5 has been selling like hotcakes since launch, becoming the fastest selling console in history, and it's been getting a steady stream of solid exclusives, from Demon's Souls to Returnal to Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. And with the likes of God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West and so much else to look forward to, it's fair to say that where the console's lineup is concerned, the future looks bright. Before we go ahead, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos every single day, and your support really helps us out. With that out of the way, let's start. But with the closure of SIE Japan Studio, their sidelining of the Japanese market, Sony's aggressive new pricing model, recent reports of Sony's poor treatment of indies, their emphasis on cross-gen releases, their unintuitive generational transitions in the absence of something like smart delivery, and more, it seems like Sony has been making one bad decision after another to draw the ire of the masses. The recent announcement of Ghost of Tsushima's director's cut should have been a break from that. Sucker Punch's gorgeous open-world epic was one of 2020's best games, and it has enjoyed the kind of critical and commercial success that reflects that. The announcement of an expanded and improved version of that game should have been met with nothing but excitement and praise. And there's been plenty of that, sure enough, but it's been blotted out significantly by the fact that once again, Sony's ugly and increasingly cynical pricing policy is rearing its head. On PS5, Ghost of Tsushima's director's cut costs $70, same as most other first-party PS5 releases, which is reason enough to be unhappy about its price, but the aforementioned cynical pricing of the release goes far beyond that. There are absolutely no free upgrade options. If you own Ghost of Tsushima on PS4, you need to pay $30 to upgrade to the director's cut on PS5, but even if you want to upgrade to director's cut on PS4, you need to pay $20. And if you get Director's Cut on PS4, upgrading to the PS5 requires $10. It's a carefully devised plan that requires the consumer to cough up more money at every step, so it seems. To begin with, it's ridiculous that an expanded version of a game that came out just a year ago is charging this much money at all. It's the definition of predatory pricing. Launching a game, sell it to millions at full price, then relaunch it with some improvements and additions a year later, and then charge even more money for it. Those who have already purchased it previously be damned. Upgrading from the base PS4's version to Director's Cut on the console requires $20, a third of the base game's price. And for what? The Iki Island expansion is likely going to be a meaty chunk of content, but meaty enough for an additional $20? To say nothing of an additional $10 that you need to cough up on top of that to upgrade to the PS5 version of Director's Cut instead. Then there's the fact that a PS4 to PS5 upgrade of the Director's Cut itself also requires $10. Sony's just refusing to give an inch. They want that full $70 for the game on the PS5, and one way or another, they're going to get it. And they know exactly what they're doing. Sackboy: A Big Adventure, a game that they knew wasn't going to be a big seller, was gladly sold at $60 on both PS4 and PS5 and offered a free upgrade path. But Ghost of Tsushima, a tentpole release that many will end up spending additional money on even when they know they're being fleeced, is not taking that sort of an approach. Again, the definition of predatory. Their increasingly more aggressive pricing of games with the PS5 has been getting plenty of attention over the last half year or so. The fact that Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered was locked behind a $70 edition of Miles Morales instead of being made available as a free upgrade to owners of the game's PS4 version was noticed. The fact that Destruction All-Stars, of all games, was originally going to be sold for a full $70 was noticed, and thankfully, they thought better of that and slashed the price to $20 on top of also offering it for free with PS Plus for some time. The fact that Returnal, Demon's Souls, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart have been sold for $70, as excellent as they all are, has been noticed. And in light of all of that, Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut's predatory pricing just seems emblematic of an increasingly worrying trend of corporate greed. What's frustrating is that that sort of an approach is clearly archaic. We know for a fact that there are better ways for companies to go about this stuff. Not that long ago, companies were charging often full price for remasters on pretty much a daily basis. But since that was an industry-wide norm, there weren't a lot of people taking issue with that. But with the advent of this new console generation and things like smart delivery, the games industry as a whole has started outgrowing that stuff. surprisingly major technical upgrades are being given to existing owners of games for free. Remastered and enhanced releases like Metro Exodus, for instance, are being released as free upgrades. And yet, here's Sony taking every chance it can get to dive deeper into the pockets of its consumers. Of course, they want to charge money for the Iki Island expansion. That makes total sense. But I'm not begrudging that. That's DLC for all practical purposes. I do think that it's still asking for more than it should, but even if we look past that, there's the plain and simple fact that that's not the only thing Sony is charging you for, evidenced by the fact that even PS4 to PS5 upgrades of the Director's Cut itself are not free. Sony is charging you for the privilege of playing on the PS5 for all practical purposes, which is just so thoroughly ridiculous. If Halo the Master Chief Collection, a game that's nearly 7 years old at this point, can give away what's a significant next-gen upgrade for free, why can't Ghost of Tsushima, a game that launched barely a year ago? There is that age-old argument that's been brought up, of course, but others do it too, and sure they do. Control Ultimate Edition did the same thing, and that didn't even have additional new content to fall back on as an excuse. Nintendo basically packed together 3 simple and extremely conservative remasters, if they could even be called those, of Super Mario games and sold them for $60, and that too for a limited time. Activision has adopted this pricing model with Call of Duty, and EA is adopting it with Battlefield. But each of those instances is just as frustrating. Other companies are doing equally bad things is not exactly a good defense. Hell, it's not even a defense. And I don't know about you, but as industry-leading platform holders, I feel like Sony should be held to a higher standard. What they're doing right now is exploiting their position of power, which is incredibly disappointing to see. So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.